Okay, now that we have changed the language and updated the firmware, we need to set up our motors and sensors because our robot doesn't know where anything is. We kind of have to tell it where it is. So we're going to click on this button right here that says Motor and Sensor Setup. Okay, and when you pull it up, it should look like this. And the standard models tab we're pretty much not going to use. And if you notice, there are 4 different tabs. We are just going to use motors, VEX 2.0 analog sensors, and VEX Cortex digital sensors. So first thing we need to do is click on the motor tab. And with your group, you need to decide which of your motors, your physical motors with the 2 green wheels on them, which one is left and which one is right. Because when we tell it to move the left motor, we want to know which one is going to move. So for me, my left motor, I'm going to follow the cord. My left motor is plugged into motor port number 1. So I'm going to type in this box. Do you see where it says port 1 here? I'm going to type in left motor. All right, and the way you use your capitalization is that the first letter is not capitalized. There's no space, and the second word is capitalized, and that's just a coding tool that we use so that we don't have to have any spaces so the computer doesn't get mixed up. All right, and the motor type, mine are VEX 393. So the way you tell what kind of motor it is on the green part, it literally says a number. It'll either say 269 or 393, and you just need to check. Okay, and that means my motor port number 2 is my right motor. And I use the same kind of capitalization. It's also a 393. So keep in mind, yours might be opposite from mine, and that is totally okay. All right, then we don't need to click anything down here. We're just going to keep going. Okay, the 2 analog sensors are the line tracker and the potentiometer. And the reason is that the line tracker can have a value of up to 4,095, and so can the potentiometer. It can be anywhere between 0 and 4,095. It can have any number between those 2 things. That's why it's analog. So in my number 1 analog spot, and that's written on your Cortex, in my number 1 analog spot is the line tracker, same capitalization, and I'm going to put the type as a line follower. In my port number 2, I'm going to put potentiometer, Potentio, MEDER, potentiometer, and the type is, you guessed it, potentiometer. And we're done. Okay, digital sensors. The reason these are digital sensors is because they can have 2 values, 1 or 0. 1 means on, 0 means off. So like where the analog stuff can be up to 4,095, these can only go up to 1, 0 or 1. So in digital port number 1, which is also written on my Cortex, I have a bump switch. So I'm going to put BUMP, capital S. Always remember your capitalization. It is bump switch. And then sensor type is a touch sensor because you touch it to start it. In my digital 2 is the limit switch, and it's also a touch sensor. Last thing, in my digital number 12, you should have a LED of some type. So like mine is green, so I'm going to put green LED. Capitalization is different for that one, and that's fine. If you have a different color, you can put red LED, put yellow LED, whatever you want. So mine's green. And I'm going to put VEX LED as the type. And then we click OK. All right, and if you notice, you now have a bunch of pragma statements, which normally you would have to code by hand. But RobotC is pretty awesome so that we can just type it in the boxes and it will just make the code for us. It says code automatically generated by RobotC configuration. So that's pretty cool. And that is how you set up your motor and sensors. Anytime you have any problem, you just go back here and make sure that they're plugged in properly. You might have to physically change them, and that's okay. Keep in mind that yours might not be in the same order as mine, and that is also okay.